Hello everybody. Everybody knows that I went to Trafalgar Square on Saturday. We did get there after it had started. So what I've done is I've put this to video together. This is just a few comments and then obviously David Icke who talked there. And this is a news company that's done this, but it shows you how many people there are. That's David with the 5G speaking there. Just wanted to cut a couple of comments. Obviously we know that he's very anti-5G and all those things. I just wanted to put a few bits in because the whole news thing is 4.5 hours, so it is really good to know that somebody filmed it and puts it as a freedom activation, or whatever you want to call it, freedom. It's called Freedom. So it's quite amazing that the news company put that in. But there was loads of people there in very good humour. It may not be the thing to do anymore, you know, what's marching do for anything, but what are we left to do? Where are we supposed to go? It's not like you can write to anybody, is it? You know, me and Marilyn went earlier on in the year, we wrote to him, Boris, and we put our addresses in there. We never had anything back. That was May. And when you realise, you know, mine was through the Ombudsman not working, and then, you know, I followed death row people. I think they're actors. I think the whole thing is set up. There's no one to go to. I've written to the president. And he never replied either. There's no one to go to. No one to listen. So you're left with marching. And this is a bit more of that march you didn't see. So I'm just showing you a bit more of what people said. Anyway, it was a news company that followed it.
That new act says that you no longer need 3 psychiatrists to say that you need to be detained under the Mental Health Act. It's now 1 doctor, not even a psychiatrist. Do you think that should be correct? Last year there were 16,000 appeals against medications for patients with psychiatric disorder. A third of those appeals were won to have them changed. They've taken away the right to appeal. Do you think that's fair? It used to be that then, 6 weeks after being detained, you would have your case reassessed by another psychiatrist. They've taken that away. Do you think that's fair and just? We have many people in our prisons. They have gone through the system. They've done the crime. They're doing the time. They're accepting porridge. They deserve a mention. They have taken away all their rights in prisons. They have nowhere to complain to. Do you think that is a good, fair judicial system and fair and just? No! This is tyranny! This government have gone over and above the rights that we the people bestowed upon them when we voted them in. Do we want them in or do we want them out? What do we want them? What do we want them? Okay, now we have an amazing woman from Ireland, Professor John. This is good news. There are no children in the world, not one healthy child, that has died because of COVID. It is no children in the world. No healthy children have died because of COVID. So you need to talk to your families and and the teachers and the schools. It is a crime against the next generation of children if they are forced to wear masks. No mask! No mask! No mask! No mask! No mask! No mask!
There was a message just sent about this. So Catherine's...
No, but so one more thing. So what I've been doing, working all around the world is, we have to say, it is our world, it is our country, these are our children. We are not going to stand by and watch them, have them anxiety, have fear, be afraid, masks make you sick. We are not going to have it. No more masks. We love our children. You are all here today because you love your children. We love our children. No more masks. No more masks. So you have a job to do. You have a job to do on Health Freedom Ireland. There is a letter. It's called Notice of Liability. And if you do one thing when you go home, you print out that notice of liability, and if you're a parent, you send it to the teacher in the school, you send it to the principals, you send it to the board, you send it to the Minister for Health, the Minister for Education, and Boris Johnson, you send it to the Queen. That you are saying, you write letters, if my child gets sick, I am holding you personally responsible. Because if you do something as a teacher or a policeman or a nurse or a doctor that is going to harm the patient, it's called malfeasance. And for a doctor, it's contributory manslaughter. When there was a cure, or the teachers union, they are personally accountable for the crime of malfeasance. If you write a notice of liability to tell them you are requiring me to do something that will harm my children, or my mother or grandmother will not get, or grandfather will not get the right treatment. So write notice of liability to Boris Johnson, notice of liability to the ministers. And the last thing is, we have to invent a new world. So the skills of the world are your time and your skills. It's not the bankers that have the power. It's not the politicians that have the power, because it's your work and your skills that keeps this country running. And it is not the bank. It's fake money. It protects us from malaria and from viral infections. So they are tracking and tracing us. They are taking away our inalienable rights of bodily integrity, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, and we're not having it. We are the change. You are the change. We are the change. You are the change. We are the change. You are the change. The fact that the Lord called us from Ireland. I'm sure lots of you who were on social media know there was a lovely, beautiful young girl called Louise who was given a certificate.
spreading across this land and across this world. And it's not COVID-19, it is fascism. Fascism justified by the illusion pandemic of COVID-19. A virus, I must give it credit, is so well equipped for every eventuality. You must not go nearer than 6 feet to another person to protect you from the virus. So now it's got a bloody tape measure. You must not stay with anyone outside your bubble for more than 15 minutes. Now it's got a bloody watch. And we are going to make masks mandatory, but not until the end of next week. Now it's got a bloody calendar. That it only infects those taking part in protests the government wants to stop. Why is it nonsense? Why can anyone with half a brain cell on activity see, or active duty see, that it's a nonsense? Because they are making it up. So why? Why are they doing that? Well, I can answer that with another point, another question. How could I have predicted current events decades ago? How could Aldous Huxley have done it in the 1930s? How could George Orwell have done it in the 1940s? Simple. Current events are not random. They have not just happened. We are seeing a long planned agenda rolling out in a script. And it is destined, if we do not stand up now, to end with the total global subjugation of the human race, not least technologically. We now are standing at an amazing point in history where we are at a fork in the road. If we go on allowing the psychopaths to dictate our lives, this is not going to end well. But if we remember where the power is, then this can end in a dramatically short time. The power is with us. Understood this when he wrote 200 years ago his so appropriately named The Mask of Anarchy. Rise like lions after slumber in unvanquishable number. Shake your chains to earth like dew, which in sleep have fallen on you. Ye are many, they are few. And those words were written in 1819 and so much of humanity still has not learned the lesson. This whole subjugation and imposition of fascism on the human race worldwide is being run not by health professionals even, but by psychologists. Just down the road there, yards from where we are, is the British government's Cabinet Office owned private company called the Behavioural Insights Team. And its job is simply to study human psychology and then to play out what it's learned to re-modify the behaviour of the population. And they are focusing on our kids more than anyone. Scumbags! What they don't want us to know, the biggest mind trick they play on us, is this. They want us to believe that authority has power. Authority has no power. Authority's power the world over is only our power which we give to them. When thousands of people headed to the beaches a few weeks ago, there was no chance of unsocial distancing. So they were sitting together in their thousands. The local authority declared a major incident. Okay, declare it. But what are you going to do about it? Well, there's nothing we can do, is there? There's too many people that won't obey. Exactly. This world is controlled by a tiny few people because of a simple sequence of imposition and acquiescence. All the way down the pyramid, imposition, acquiescence. The next level acquiesces and imposes on the next level, and then it goes down to us, the people. And if we acquiesce to that level of the hierarchy that seeks to impose on us, i.e. government, police, then we complete a circuit between the tiny few in the shadows and the entire global population. And that circuit means that a tiny few impose their agenda on billions of people. How do we break that sequence? We stop acquiescing. Human race, get off your knees! The lion sleeps no more! Stay in your home! No! Wear a mask! No! Let your kids be psychologically dismantled! No! It is time, it is well past the time where we learn the lessons of history. The entirety of human history is one of the few controlling the many, because the many acquiesce to the few. Enough! Freedom! You have children. fascism which your own children and grandchildren will have to live with. Join us, for goodness sake, and stop serving the psychopaths. There are billions of us at the core of this psychopathic web. You would get them in one room. I think I can see a way out of this. Come on, people of the world, let's go!
And there we leave it, and I come in about 5 minutes later and start doing my bit. There is more, but I think I put the most important bits in. The rest is probably quite personal, you know, bits and bobs with friends and stuff. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed a bit more of the talk and to see how many people are really there. We are the people. We only want to go forward with the truth.